Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? What's going on? Wait a minute. What? I know, Stube. I know we ain't just came on here and we ain't get our round of applause when we came in the building today, man. What's wrong with everybody? No, we trying to nope. Don't be trying to do
I
it
ain't good
now.
enough.
No, don't try to do it now, y'all. Anyway, we gonna let y'all slide today. But look, hey, welcome to another episode of the Rocket Chair Chronicles podcast, y'all. It's your boy Shiny, and then it's Stube right here. Once again, I represent the greatest generation, Generation X, the greatest generation God has blessed the whole entire world with, Bobby, the greatest. And Stube, the millennial.
Millennial, the last great generation. I ain't gonna argue what's the best, but I think we the last great generation.
See, there you go, right there. He
Yeah,
said he thinks. I said I know Generation X. There go the difference right there, boy. It's just something
right.
different
I'm
about
just
that
I'm just being
Generation X
modest. I'm
swag,
just
boy.
being modest.
Okay, that boy say he being modest. I ain't being modest. We the greatest generation. If anybody got a problem with it, they just got a problem with it. Anyway, welcome
Mhm.
to today's episode. Look, before we jump into it, because we got a good one today, y'all. We told y'all last week what we got. Y'all go
Mhm.
ahead and like and subscribe to the podcast. If you're ear hustling, if you have not subscribed to us, I keep telling you this. I don't know when I'm gonna be at my wits end with this. You're down bad if you have not subscribe to the podcast. So go ahead. You see it scrolling at the bottom. It's the literally you just pressing a button with your finger, man. If you're on your mouse or if you're on your phone, bloop, go ahead and pop that thing, subscribe, get the notification so you can see when we drop new content for y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, man, we got some good stuff coming up. Mike, what's your appetite at the end of this one? Let you know what we got coming up, man. We got some thought provoking things coming up.
Oh
Like we
yeah,
trying to hit it from all angles. Once again, like I told y'all from the beginning, we ain't ducking no topics
taking no smoke.
at all. And we just go sit here and discuss it, man. So put up your chairs for this one. And also make sure that if you have any kind of inquiries or anything you want to send to us, hit us at that email that you see on your screen right there. Rockin' Chair Chronicles 904 at gmail.com. That's
Rockin' Chair Chronicles 904 at gmail.com.
there it is right there, man. Like if
Mhm.
y'all got any kind of suggestions, anything you want to send to, if you want to send us a love offering or something, go ahead and say, hey, I love you two guys, you two
Right.
handsome guys, man. I love y'all discussion where y'all sitting there, y'all just talking about this, that, and the third. Man, I want to send y'all a donation, a
Yeah.
contribution to y'all.
We
And we
need
will
a
gladly put you,
we need a
yeah,
cash. Ching,
like a
something
little,
like
oh
that.
yeah, the
Yeah.
little thing where it say
Right.
ding or something
Some
like that. Yeah,
cash.
we do need. So, oh,
Yeah.
maybe like yeah,
Awesome!
something like that. Maybe that had to do for now. Yeah.
Right.
See, we want to upgrade our little soundboard thing. So if you want to donate to the cause,
Right.
we not turning away love offerings to the Rocket Chair Chronicles podcast. So I just say that there. Now, as we proceed, today we're gonna be talking about cryptocurrency, y'all. This is a little bit out of left field, maybe for a lot of you guys, but we're gonna be talking about cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm not the expert here. I have no idea where this is gonna go. It may go to talking more about Bitcoin. But I'll
Oh
have a
yeah.
special guest that I will be interviewing today. Y'all ready to meet the special guest that we're gonna be in? Y'all ready to meet the special guest right now? All right, we gonna go on. Okay, we gonna meet the special
Who
guest
is it?
right now. The special guest for today's episode, where we are talking about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Is it good? Is it bad? And different? Like what your thoughts about it is, if you do it, why you do it, all that. Then the third, the special guest that we will be interviewing today is none other than Stu right here.
Right. The one and only in the
Yeah.
flesh.
Surprise, boy. The man
Hmm.
is a man of few words, but when it comes to the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin stuff, it's the guy you want to go to right here, man. That boy
Hmm.
silent but deadly on it. I promise you. You think that's an
For sure.
accurate
Yeah, I
statement?
agree.
So
100%.
okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so you see what he's saying. So we about to get ready to get into. We go talk to him a little bit about some things in that cryptocurrency world, y'all. So
Hmm.
without further ado, we go jump right into it. We ain't trying to waste no time on it now. So
Hmm.
all right, Stu, you ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All right, so let's talk about this a little bit. So now, I think the first question I think that everybody, whenever they get
Hmm.
interviewed, is probably answering off top is be Well, why did you get interested in Bitcoin and crypto
Right.
investing? And how did you make your first investment?
Right. Before I answer that, you might have to ask me again. I just want to say, start off with, you know, what is Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is
Okay.
it's a type of digital currency, and the transactions are recorded on the blockchain. So basically, that's your financial ledger. So basically, just think about it as a book of all true transactions that have happened on the blockchain. So, and then who keeps up and verifies those transactions are real people. So those are your miners. They, solve, actual computational mathematical problems, and that's your cryptography. So,
I'm sorry, I don't
the
mean to jump in. Now you said miners. You want to spell that?
right, MINER.
Okay, yeah, thank
So
you.
the
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
just for
yeah,
clarification,
who are real,
we not on that list.
real
Go ahead.
people, and they verify transactions. Like if it's, this block. So block, when you hear block, that is a actual transaction that's placed on the blockchain, and it's transparent. So anybody can go on the blockchain and look at all the true transactions that are on there. So the miners keep up the integrity of the network, and for them doing so, they are rewarded Bitcoin in doing that. So the incentive is, keeping up with the integrity of the network. So everything on Bitcoin, as far as transactions that's on that blockchain, are true. There's no false transactions. Nobody going around fiddling around, changing things around so they can get an upper hand. Everything is true.
Okay.
So and then the added piece to that is it operates outside of a central authority. So outside of a bank, so you can operate peer to peer. I could transact with my brother here, peer to peer, no intermediary needed. So, high level, that's what Bitcoin is.
Okay,
So,
cool. So that's what Bitcoin is. Now
hmm
that we know, and that's a good segue into this these,
hmm
these questions that I initially asked you. So that's a good thought you put out there. So
hmm
why did you decide? Like, what got you interested in it? Like, why did you
okay,
decide to do it? And then, what was your first investment?
okay. So because I started, I graduated, I went to school for RT, information
What
technology.
school? Go ahead, and shout
So
it
the
out.
A&M University
That's right.
FAMU, shout out FAMU,
Yeah.
and my boys right there, the highest 7 years, I think that's what they say, something like
You man, we might have
that.
to edit this out.
You know,
No, I'm
shout
leaving it in there.
out,
Y'all get them.
shout out my
If you're a
fan you for I
rattler,
love fan you.
get them.
Yeah. So I would say I graduated 2018. I started working corporate April. It was April Fools actually, April 1st. 2019 started working. And that was when COVID shortly came. 2020, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2020.
Yep.
And I remember this guy. He's one of the project managers at FIS. Um, his name was Jeff, Mr. Jeff, and he was telling me, "Hey, Steve, this is the best time, to invest." He was more so in the stock market or whatnot. So it's like this is the best time to invest and whatnot. So it kind of, you know, uh, put my mind. So okay, how can I make my money work for me? Um, so then I came across, eventually I came across Bitcoin, and that's when we were getting those checks from the Orange Man, well, really the government though. They was getting they was getting giving us those COVID checks. Now I
uh,
remember people were talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, yada yada yada. I didn't know too much about it. I asked Big Rod, that's my father, Rod. I asked Rod, my dad, like, hey dad, what you think about Bitcoin? Now, shout out Pops, but he's older, man. He's a boomer. So,
the
the
boy from
boomers,
the baby boomer
yeah, the boomers, man,
generation.
they like,
Wow.
they got the status quo. They don't like anything new. They're like, hey, this has been here in place. We don't need nothing new. But I did ask him, I won't lie, my dad's right about most things. But he ain't right about everything though. But anyway, I asked him, I said, hey dad, what you think
No
about
disrespect to big
right,
big
right,
Padre.
right, right, yeah. I asked him, hey dad, what you think about Bitcoin? Yada yada. He's like, I don't know, son. He gave a solid answer. He said, I don't know, son. Stick with something, that's for sure. It's kind of a new thing out there, speculative. I didn't pay no mind. I didn't, I said, I just leave it alone. So I, put my money in something else. Then I seen the price start going up on the thing. When I seen it, it was around 6, 7K. So I was like, man, it was going up. And then I said, man, I bit the bullet and started learning about it. I went down that rabbit hole, they say. And then it just started to
Mm-hmm.
make sense to me. And I just started, I guess for me, myself, creating like a Bitcoin reserve for myself, just buying it and holding it. Um, So that's
Okay.
what I started. Probably around 2020, I started buying it. Um, and it's been a wrap ever since. Just made sense to me.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So,
Yeah, that made sense. Okay, so all right, so you mentioned something. This is also a good
hmm
little segue to the next thing. You say you a holder, right?
right,
So
right.
so that's your approach. You're a holder. But what was
hmm
interesting to me when I was looking over the questions that I had,
hmm
I noticed when I was looking up it said hodler.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so like if y'all in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, y'all know what that is already. So you are hodler,
Right.
which is a misspelling on holder, right?
Right. It's on a
Initially.
forum around 2013. It was a forum. Somebody was talking about Bitcoin and they were saying, hey, I'm holding. And it was a typo. They misspelled it HODLER. So the community ran with it. So, synonymous with holder, HOLDER.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So,
gotcha. Okay, cool,
hmm
cool, cool. I see, I understand that. All right. So now, what do you see as the biggest risks in
hmm
Bitcoin investing?
well, it's a few, I would say, just looking at it objectively, it's a few risks. I'll start off with. I think it's a risk to not have any at all. You know,
Oh, okay.
like I like to talk about gold. Gold, stands the test of time. Gold, and specifically Black people, we didn't have, access. Of course, because of, racism that was going on. You didn't have access to, be able to buy gold, and gold was a big, kind of wealth transfer for people. I think it really took off in the '70s or whatnot. And blacks had reason to be skeptical, of course, but and then
Mm-hmm.
having laws in place where you can't really have access to it. But things are different now. You have free markets or whatnot, and I'm all about free markets. So I believe in people deciding, hey, what's the best currency to use that hold this value over time? You can't inflate it. You know, it's very hard to change it. So that's your hard money, that you can't really make much of. And that somebody like, us regular folks, and we spend our hard, time and money into things, you know, um, and you have a government that's over the money, that's abusing it, debasing the money. You want to protect the person power on your, assets and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling. What was the
Nah, you good. Yeah, it
question?
was a. What do you see the biggest risk?
Oh,
But you
okay.
did
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
though.
but
You
kind of do.
said kind
So,
of you
right.
felt like the biggest risk is
Yeah,
not
not having any, because the
necessarily
thing
listening.
is,
Yeah, I got
when I was studying Bitcoin, it made me study like the history of money, like paper money, fiat.
you. Yeah,
So the paper money, where
ain't worth the money that it's printed
right,
on.
the government, you have to. That's the thing about Bitcoin. Fiat is centralized, and the only people that can increase the issuance or the supply of it is the Federal Reserve, and it's nothing that me and you can do about holding them accountable. They can do whatever they want. The more money they print, the higher the cost of goods going. If they're not flowing throughout the economy, then the people suffer, and we pay that quiet tax, what they say, which is inflation. So it's like at that point, it made me look at, okay, where do I put my money into a vehicle where it grows over time, And basically, all economics is at the end of the day is supply and demand. You know, if it's something is scarce, it's not, if it's not that many of something, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have demand, more people say I need it, then that means the price goes up. So, in a nutshell,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, well, how do I defeat? How do I protect my time, my hard, you know, energy that I put into working, and then my government, you know, is abusing the power of the dollar that I need to buy things, and it's steady deteriorating. How can I protect that over time? So it's about just buying assets and whatnot. So and then one thing for me was just to have Bitcoin. I just think it's finite. It's, all it is a computer program. It's immutable. You don't have one person over it. That's why I really don't mess with anything else. 'Cause you can't just go and change the coding on it. It's only ever going to be 21 million, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to me. So I say I just throw something at it, and The more I learned about it, the more conviction I built up. So I would say, it's a risk to not have any. Now, also, there are risks, like for instance, if I buy on Coinbase, any type of, crypto exchange, and it's more than just Coinbase. You have different outlets out there. Um, but if I buy on their platform and I leave my Bitcoin on that platform, it's a thing in the community where they say not your keys, not your crypto, because in order to access, because your crypto, your Bitcoin is held in a digital wallet. And I like to use this analogy. It's like going into your house. Like the only people that can go into your house is the people that have the what? The keys.
Mm-hmm.
So, cryptography is just, you know, um, private keys and, public keys, and they're secured in that way. So if you don't have ownership of your own private keys, then in this scenario, if I buy on Coinbase and leave it on there, then they're basically that's their coins. They're in control of it. They have access. They have the
Mm-hmm.
private key. I don't. So let's say, because I've seen this happen before. It was the exchange was called crypto exchange was Kraken. I believe it was Kraken. And when they went bankrupt, they froze everyone's accounts. You couldn't sell your Bitcoin that was held on that exchange,
Mm.
because they're in bankruptcy. So you don't own your coins. So, and that's later on down. I think we're going to talk about that as far as like how do you store it or whatnot, or how do you, take ownership of it. But it is some risk if you don't, take the power in your own hands and store your crypto like you should, and you just depend on someone else, like a third party kind of, like Coinbase, Kraken, things of that nature to hold your coin. So that's the risk in that.
Gotcha.
Um, and then it is, I mean, it is a new asset, so it's kind of, I'll be honest, it's volatile. So um, I will be honest, I don't really like to tell older folks, that's getting ready to retire, things like that, to buy Bitcoin, because they want something steady, So
More
I
for that
will be honest.
generation,
I'm be
yeah.
honest, yeah, yeah. You want to put something that's gonna give you guarantee you some type of returns. So I will be honest in that, but definitely if you're younger, um, I say throw something in there. Even older folks, throw something in there and see, what happens.
Shout out to our
So
boomers. Yeah, we got love for the
yeah, yeah.
boomers. But the boomers be stubborn. Boy. Y'all
Oh
be
yeah, man,
stubborn, boy.
for
Yeah.
sure, man. Uh
Okay, cool, cool.
huh.
All right, got it. So you're a holder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you arrived there for a reason. So like how
Uh
do
huh.
you decide to hold? Like some people buy, some people sell, some people hold. Like how did you?
Right.
I guess how
Yeah.
did you decide that you know what I'm a hold? I'm not gonna really play around with it too much as far as like buying and selling. Um,
Right.
yeah. So how would you say you decided to arrive at that conclusion?
Right. Well, and you'll probably feel what I'm saying with this, bro. I kind of like, having another option. Like it's another system that that you can opt into instead of having the one that we have now. We're in a fractional reserve banking kind of system. Where the banks they get your money, um, and then they lend your money off to someone else. And it just seems a system like that can collapse. And you've seen it like in
Yeah.
2008, whatnot, mismanaging the money or whatever. Um, so I just wanted, it just, seeing like, okay, man, this is give us another option to kind of go into, and it was interesting. So I started learning about it. It just made sense, like economically, like I was saying, the scarcity of it, um, you know, um, and then just as I started learning more and more, and a lot of people say, and I say this too about money, paper money, like what is fiat backed on? It's really not backed by anything. You can say maybe
Yeah.
the military or whatnot, but really you have to depend. Really, the government say deems this worthy of using and buying and
Yeah, that's a good
transactions.
point. That's really a good
You
point.
know, so it just was interesting. I said, man, I want another system. And I started learning about it or whatever. And then like I said, it just started to make a lot of sense. You
Gotcha,
know,
gotcha.
I don't know if I answered that question because man,
Yeah,
I
you
be
you like just having another option, like another for
yeah, yeah,
sure
yeah,
option. I get you. Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. And yeah,
So, all right, because earlier you mentioned Coinbase. So
Right,
is there
right, right.
any other are there any other tools or resources that you use to track the market?
Yeah, you can try. It depends on what you're into, cause you have, I don't trade Bitcoin, but I do think it's good to be able to, because if you're trading Bitcoin, you have to have your technical analysis, so you have to be able to look at different charts, you know, learn different chart patterns,
Oh, so
or
you gotta be smart.
as far as like, I mean, man, look, I ain't smart, and I learned it, so if I learned it,
He's
anybody
smart.
can learn it.
He's smart.
Yeah, I'm just a regular guy. But if you're trying to trade it, you got to learn the technical analysis, being able to look at chart patterns, um, candlestick patterns, things like that to kind of help you predict, where things may go. You may not be always right 100% of the time, but if you create a system, you know, there's not too much noise in there. You can kind of create a system that gets, you can kind of predict different moves and you
Based
know,
off
per-
trends and stuff like
right,
that.
right,
I see.
and then when you have a system like that, other traders kind of look at the same thing, then you kind of trust like, okay, if you're looking at it the right way, then most other traders would probably go along with you, kind of thing. So if that
Okay.
makes sense, it's just
Yeah, I
about looking at
got you.
different patterns. The world is, you know, what we live in day to day is just different patterns and picking up on different things and predicting it. So, but that's just trading. I don't trade Bitcoin, but I think it is good to know you can kind of look at charts and use technical analysis to see, okay, this may have bottomed out, or okay, I think this is the top here. We're gonna probably go down, you know. But really, for the main part, as far as Bitcoin, I don't really concern myself with that. I built up the conviction. It makes sense, so I just buy, you know, I try to buy something out every month, so
Hmm.
that's what I do. So I don't waste my time. I make it simple. I don't waste my
Yeah.
time. Now I do like to look at charts for fun, but I don't get too bent out of shape. Oh, what's going down? I'm actually happy
Hmm.
when it's going down. I get to get more units of it.
Yeah,
Um,
I got you.
if it's going up, I still put the same amount that I will put in.
Hmm.
Whether it be weekly, I do monthly, but weekly, bi-weekly, whatever your time frequency is. So
Got you. Yeah, so
yeah.
you're standing on conviction. You
Oh
got
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
conviction. You're like, hey
yeah.
man, that's just where I'm at with it.
Oh
I
yeah,
like it. I
man.
like it.
What I do is like I have a Twitter account, so I turn on push notifications for people that are real smart, reputable
Hmm.
people. So I always get notifications coming in. I can read, kind of keep up what's going on. Cause you got different with the whole, like I say, it's a computer program, but you got a whole lot of people, smart people that's developing, on top of the network, things that are making more robust, things of that nature. So it's always new things, new technologies that's being coming in and making the network run better, smoother
Hmm.
over time. Um, like for instance, like your Lightning network, because the Bitcoin itself, uh, like on the base layer, the foundation, it only handles like I think 6 transactions per second. But some developers made a like it's built on top of the layer one where you can transact like with Visa and Mastercard. And Visa and
Hmm.
Mastercard handles like I think millions of transactions per second, but with that
Oh
Lightning
yeah,
network on
that's
there,
crazy.
man, it handles more than Visa and Mastercard. And I've seen this in new time when you used to have
Hmm.
technology that kind of disrupt present, the status quo of things. Like for instance, I might be going ahead, but El Salvador was the first country that made Bitcoin a legal tender. And they actually have a Bitcoin reserve system where they keep buying Bitcoin, like basically like dollar cost averaging, Bitcoin cost averaging when they buy it a certain time period or whatnot. Um, and they utilize the Lightning network. So they going. I seen people going to McDonald's and they buying it with Bitcoin real quick. Boom.
Hmm.
So I'm seeing this in real time, and that
Oh.
disrupts. Like they said, that will disrupt millions of dollars from Western Union when people try to send money across borders or whatnot, and then you have to pay those fees and whatnot for using Western Union. But if you use the Lightning network, I can send that to someone all across the Africa or China for virtually no fees. So that will
Yeah.
disrupt when you see stuff like that disrupting industries like Western Union.
Yeah, them
There's
big
something you
boy
gotta
industries, boy.
right. You gotta keep an eye. You gotta keep an eye on to see okay what's going on here. So um,
Hmm.
mhm.
That's crazy. Okay, all right, I got you. I got you. All right, so now you I think you talked a little bit earlier about like the how secure it is.
Right. Yeah, like that.
So to speak.
Like,
But so how
uh
do
huh.
you keep yours
Oh, okay, I
like
see. What
safe from hackers or scammers? And do you have like any advice, like coming off of that? Like, do you have any advice for beginners on protecting their investments?
Right. So once I would say for beginners, once you build up the conviction and you're buying, you're probably buying because you can buy on Cash App. Um,
Crash out.
Cash App.
Oh, boy, I thought you
Yeah, I
said
must have said it. My
crash
fault.
out, boy.
Yeah,
Ooh, but look
Cash App.
at
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Let something be called crash
Yeah, I
out.
don't know
I
about
ain't
that, man. I ain't
nah.
buying
Ain't
no
about trying to
Crash
buy
App.
no crash out site, boy. You crazy. You get what you
Uh
deserve.
huh.
You playing around with the
For sure.
crash
Yeah.
out app. But go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. You can buy on Cash App. Um, Coinbase is different platforms. That's the ones I know. Coinbase, Cash App. There's way more out there um, that you can buy on. But once you build your conviction and whatnot, like I was saying before, if you leave it on there, you gotta hope that their business is running fine. They won't never hit bankruptcy or nothing because they can freeze your funds, your account. So um, what I do is you buy on those platforms, and then you move it to a they call it a hardware wallet, a cold wallet, meaning it's store you can store crypto, store your Bitcoin offline. So, because
Okay.
when you got it on these exchanges, that's connected to the internet or
Like an
whatnot.
offshore account or something like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the regular
yeah,
money.
yeah, and it's connected to the internet or whatnot. So if somebody can send you emails, a lot of people, phishing emails, but hey, what's your Coinbase account username, password, which has nothing to
Them
do with the actual
scams.
Bitcoin network. This has got something to do with Coinbase and user error. So you put your information in, somebody and took it out, boom, they done moved it somewhere else.
They done got your
Right.
Bitcoin.
So, and then a lot of people there think, oh, the Bitcoin been hacked. No, that's Coinbase, or maybe that's you. You gave your information out. Now your
Hmm.
stuff gone because the actual Bitcoin network itself has never been hacked, and that's one of the things that amazed me about it. Because like I was saying, the miners have incentive to keep up and make sure that they're adding true transactions, not false transactions. And that the U.S. Treasury can't even account for billions of dollars or maybe trillions of dollars that's being spent. You know, and
Yep.
that's your government. You trusting them. But Bitcoin network itself
Nah,
has
boy.
never been compromised or hacked. If you think I'm lying,
That's
you
a
can
heck of
Google
a
it.
statement, boy.
And it's been out for more than 10 years. So that's a robust system, sounds like to me. And then the people, like I said, it's immutable. Whoever Satoshi is, we don't know. I'm glad we don't know who he is because he could come in probably, be like, hey, we need to change, yada, yada. That's a lot of influence. That's why I don't like any other cryptos because you have your venture capitalists, people pool their money in together and they say, hey, they deem this coin worthy of, the retail buying. They say, hey, do X, Y, Z. When it come out, don't do nothing. And they pass their buddies these coins. Hey, when we release it on the public, we're gonna sell. You
Gotcha.
know, that sound like kind of what we in today, the fiat system. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I don't mess with no other crypto. I just mess with Bitcoin. I like how
Gotcha.
nobody know who Satoshi is. You can't go and change the protocol. The miners have incentive to keep up and make sure that all transactions are true. We don't have no funny business going on. It just made a lot of sense. And then another thing, because some people say, well, hey, can't they hackers can take over the network and hack it? Well, in order to do so, because the miners, in order to verify these transactions, you need energy. So that means I'm on a computer. I'm a miner. I got a computer. I need energy to kind of figure out the cryptography, the math behind these transactions, whether it's true or not. If I figure it out on the first one, then I'm rewarded Bitcoin. So that's how it is, like a game between the miners. They have to solve real math,
Okay.
which is logic, to be
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is the math behind this block. It belongs in this blockchain once it's true transaction. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even understand all the way 100%, but I just understand that it keeps up the integrity of the network. And then you have the nodes, which are basically computers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like everybody follows a certain protocol, the rules, which is basically software, computer program. You have to follow these consensus rules, which is your consensus of what is this a true transaction is added to the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And these miners, they
Okay.
send it off to these different nodes. It's a distributed system. They send it off to these different nodes, and the nodes are like referees and it's rules, right? So they look at it and oh, this is okay, this is legit. We adding this on, boom. So everybody's participating in this system, and it's incentivized to hey keep everything true. We like how everything is now. If somebody want to propose a different system, then that would be a different coin. But then at that point, you know, everybody, if somebody makes a new coin, that would leave Bitcoin obsolete. They leave, but everybody want to
Mm,
stay in this one system. So
mm-hmm.
it's like we ain't leaving. It's immutable.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that's how it works. If that makes sense. I know I was
yeah.
rambling on that though, but
Hey, but look, so what
yeah.
I
So
got though, now
okay,
this is what I got. See,
okay,
so
okay.
all
Uh huh.
other cryptos is ops.
Yeah,
So
man, I ain't
everybody
gonna
else
lie,
is
man.
ops.
I don't look at nothing else,
It's like
man.
Bloods and Crips.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man.
Okay, okay.
And
All right,
yeah,
all right, all right.
yeah.
So that's cool.
Mhm.
I understand. So you got a little advice for your beginners in there,
I'm
about
sorry,
protecting
yeah.
your investments.
Cause
You
I
did
talked to
mention that.
Ledger. I got a Ledger 90X, so it's the cold wallet. So I just buy. I might buy on something like I buy on an app called Swan. It's kind of no fees on there. Well, kind of it's a little bit, but virtually no fees. Then I buy, I move it, and I store it on my cold wallet. And the only person that can access that is me, and it's consists of my private keys, which give you access to your wallet, consists of 24 words in a certain order, and the only person that has that is me. So once I move it off and put it on there, nobody can get into it but me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah, that's
yeah,
real secure right there. 24 words in order. Okay,
yeah.
all right, I got you. Appreciate that dropping that out. Boy, you see, I told y'all, boy, look, man,
Yeah, I'm
get
probably
at them
talking
if
too
you
much
want to
though, man.
know about Bitcoin, man, and how that world goes. This is your guy right here, Stube. I'm telling you. Well,
Hmm.
one of the realest from the millennial generation. He got you. He got you if you want to talk about this stuff. All right, so we're gonna continue. Thank you for dropping that knowledge on us there, sir. All right, so now what do you think? And I know
Hmm.
this is a good one right here,
Hmm.
considering how I already feel about these people anyway. But what do you think
Uh-huh.
about the government regulations? Are
Right.
they
Yeah.
regulating certain cryptos?
Yeah. So you got what was the last guy? So you got the SEC, so the U.S. Securities and Keep Me Honest Securities and Exchange Commission.
Securities and
So
yeah, I think that's it.
so they kind of govern and see, they kind of deem what's securities and what's commodities, or they, kind of put into law like, hey, can this be traded, things of that nature. So when Biden and them was in office, they kind of ain't really too much like the crypto scene and what's his
Yeah.
name, Gary Gensler. They were kind of strict on the crypto. There's a lot of different rules and barriers, But this new administration here, they kind of more crypto friendly. And I'll be honest, now I don't know if it's because they trying to ulterior motive was it really genuine, but it doesn't matter to me who's in office. I like Bitcoin, how it is now. But I mean, I guess I won't lie. It's something that I think about it. I might struggle with because I don't really want too much government involved in it, honestly. But we
Yeah,
do
shoot.
need some
They
type of
mess stuff up when they get
right. That's what I'm
involved with
saying.
stuff.
That's what I'm saying. But
Man.
like it kind of go to the point I was making. The code itself is immutable. It don't matter what they do, but they can kind of manipulate markets and things. That stuff happens in the stock market, and I'm pretty sure you
Hmm.
believe that, bro. Different, you got control of things. You kind of manipulate
Yeah,
things, send
man.
out different reports, have stuff. The price of things go down just so your friends or whatnot can get in.
Yeah, they can
Scare
control that job.
retail,
Hmm.
you know. But I think like with anything is good and bad because I've seen with different people in the SEC, they legalize the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is just like Fidelity and BlackRock, where they offer exposure to Bitcoin. So if you want exposure to Bitcoin, but you don't want to hold it outright like on your own, like I do, you can buy some shares that kind of mimic and track the performance of Bitcoin.
Hmm.
And then these financial institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, the more shares you buy, the more Bitcoin they have to buy, which is the underlying asset. So that's just your spot Bitcoin ETFs. Um, and that helps drive the demand up, when more people buying those shares. So the spot Bitcoin
Okay,
ETF
okay.
share. So when you see those big financial institutions, so apparently you have some big guys with the big money that's saying, hey man, I want some type of exposure to Bitcoin. So that's good because that kind of tells me signifies okay, we have some type of adoption maybe. because it is a new technology and you need the people to kind of, deem something worthy. And that's, I think it's, I believe in free market. So as far as your money goes, what's the best money to use? A hard money, sound money to use. A store,
Say
hold,
that statement one more time like that.
oh, sound money.
Yeah, hard money.
Yeah, hard money. It's hard to
Yeah.
create a whole bunch of it. It kind of holds its value over
Yeah,
time.
I like that.
So,
Okay.
time, space, is the third one. I forget. It's slipping my mind. So, time being that it holds, its value over
Right.
time, then space. Um,
It don't depreciate. Can we
right,
say it
right,
like
right,
that?
right. Space. I can send that. One thing I like Bitcoin, and I like gold too. But man, you can't move a whole bunch of gold. Somebody across to your family member across seas or something like that. Or if you dealing with a dictator, man, he can come get your
Or
gold
gonna
real
come get your
quick.
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I say, I like to say, I make a joke. Like Putin, he can't stop a Rocket Man. He can't stop a Bitcoin transaction.
Yeah, boy, Rocket
So,
Man, boy.
so yeah, I'm kind of rambling though.
Okay, nah, you
Yeah.
cool, you cool, you cool.
But yeah. I don't know, man. It's just as long as they don't do no funny stuff, man. The government, man, don't do no funny
Don't
stuff. To
hold
kind,
your breath.
but yeah. So and this stuff going through, like I don't know if you heard the Clarity Act. They're trying to that's be for the crypto industry to have a regulatory framework, kind of,
Okay, they got that on
and
the
we do
floor of
need
the
stuff.
house now.
Yeah,
Something.
they didn't vote
Okay.
on it yet, but we need something like that to kind of have set out. Hey, the guidelines, standardized. Hey, if you trying to sell cryptocurrencies, then you need to have X, Y, Z to be able to do so, and you do need stuff like that.
Do you know who
Yeah,
authored that bill? Cause that's right. That
I
boy gonna
don't know
tell
because
me.
because really because I only concern myself with I only care about Bitcoin, but I don't really know who and what's
Okay,
all in the
okay,
bill.
okay.
And it is stuff that, man, now it got me thinking about another risk.
What?
Because the CBDC, the central banking digital currency, because I
Okay.
got my opinions on that, which
Yeah.
is basically a crypto, but it's control. It's really like fiat, but it's control. It's digital, completely digital, and your government control it. And I know China used it. China
I
tied
see what they
to a
doing.
social credit system,
I got it. I
and now
see
they're
what
gonna
they
freeze your
doing.
junk. Oh, they say you did this. Oh, you posted this.
Yeah.
We're gonna freeze your stuff.
They got to try to create
Right,
a competitor
right. And I remember, hey, if
and make it look more attractive to
you probably like
everybody.
this, the Hamilton Project. This is actually U.S. guys, and this is a real project. It's called the
Hmm.
Hamilton Project, and some U.S. guys, and they were studying Bitcoin. They're trying to, the properties of Bitcoin to kind of make a CBDC. And I believe, and I could be wrong, I am a Christian, so I believe, I'm gonna have a 7 year tribulation period, all that, and then it's gonna be one world government. And I believe CBDC kind of connect everybody digitally, and if you doing something wrong, then hey, you can't buy or sell. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
boy. Yeah, whenever you got them boys up there in them suits involved and stuff,
Right. And they like to control
man, yeah,
everything.
them people power
So
hungry people, boy.
yeah.
Okay, all right, cool, cool. So let's talk about this right here then. So where do you
Mm.
see Bitcoin and we can say and crypto headed in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a good question. Um I think okay, my honest opinion, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think you see, like I was saying, like with BlackRock, Fidelity, you know, financial institutions like that, you seeing big money kind of pooling their money into a space, crypto space, not even focusing just solely on Bitcoin. They're pulling their money in here. You got these different spot Bitcoin ETFs. People want exposure to it. I don't think it's going anywhere no time soon. But at the same time, you have to be careful with what you're looking at because it's a big space. Like I only concern myself with Bitcoin. I don't buy anything else, but you kind of get lost in the sauce, for lack of better words, and you
Hmm.
can look at different things that are probably scams, and then you can lose your money. Like I tell people, if you're a trader and you're dealing with other cryptos, you can make money off these things, but get in and get out, and put it in something that you have actual conviction in that you think makes sense, and that's what I think about it. And I can't tell you um what the whole space gonna be in 5 to 10 years. You never know. But I am high on Bitcoin. I think in the end, it's something worth throwing your money in and just makes sense over time. Like I say, it's finite. You're seeing more demand in it over time. Uh, it's just something, kind of throw your money. It just makes sense. Just like they say, digital gold. Like I have respect for gold. Gold has stand the test of time. They've been using gold for transactions since
Shoot,
for
like
a
in them
long
old
time.
days,
Yeah, for a
18,
long time.
17, 18th
And I
century, jump,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Gold,
Mm-hmm.
it keeps its value over time. It is finite. You may come across some more, but it's
But
finite.
it's
Yeah,
there,
it's hard.
whatever,
It's
it's
hard money.
there.
It's
Yeah.
hard money. So can't just make more of it. So
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's kind of how Bitcoin is. But the difference between Bitcoin and gold is you can kind of the space part of it. You can just send it off quick.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike gold. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
got you. Okay, all right, cool. Well, all right, appreciate them thoughts on that. Now,
Mhm.
we getting ready to sum it up here. So, but you know how we kind of like to end with,
Right,
because
right.
we are Christians, how our worldview, affect why we believe the way we believe on things. So, now,
Yeah.
how do you being a Christian, um, affect how you invest in Bitcoin or your thoughts on Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
Hmm.
Like in other words, like why are you invested in Bitcoin? Like, how does
Right.
you being a Christian in play and come into play?
Right. I like to say this, like Bitcoin just made me study money and whatnot, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Bible says, just how it speaks about money, and then the love of money is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I mentioned the perspective of things. So I don't buy or because I invest in stocks as well, but with the Bitcoin and the stocks, I don't, my intention is not because I might not get wealthy or really rich. But I do want to have something on the side where I can be able to help, my family if needed or my friends or whatnot. Because I look at money as a tool. As a tool, it's a means to
Yeah.
get by and the means to help people. And then the Bible, I believe, I don't know, it's in Proverbs, but it says to take pride in your toil, your hard work or whatnot, and put some away to the side and
Mm-hmm.
for someone else. Because I can't take it with me when I leave. So
Facts.
I do want to, when I go leave something here for my future family, or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Um, hopefully I have that because I'm a
Future
single.
family
I am
man.
a
Yeah,
single man.
he's a sing.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, let me
since you
say this.
brought it up.
I'm a single man. If there's any Christian young ladies out there, you feel me? Hit up the Gmail.
On
You
the
feel me?
real, y'all go ahead and send an email. Look, I'm telling you, my brother, man,
Uh-huh.
hard worker. You know, he's gonna be a man about his. He's a protector, provider. Like, hey, listen,
Right.
any young ladies, young Christian ladies here watching this, man, I'm telling you,
Right.
hey, there
And I ain't gonna
it
speak on
is.
it too much. You see for yourself, so I ain't
There
finna. You
you
know what I'm
go. I'm
saying?
telling you,
I ain't gonna talk
on
too
the
much
word,
about it.
I'm stamping them.
So.
They probably like, oh, we don't care because you do. But I'm just saying.
Right. Right. That's your brother. So.
I'm
But
just
yeah, that's
saying.
how I look at it, put it in this right perspective. And hey, I might not be wealthy. You don't know how it turn out though, but it's worth the take the chance and whatnot. And God good either way. I like to say that. Whether
That's
it's
big
end up
facts right there.
bad or end up
Whether we
good,
have or
or
we
if it's
don't.
moderate, God still
Mm-hmm.
good. So it doesn't
Yeah.
make a difference to me.
Never let
So
us down once. Yeah.
right,
And
yeah,
it's about being good stewards, like you say. I think
right,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
form of being a good steward,
Mm-hmm.
of the things you've been given. Been given the means to invest in that way. And you being very methodical and careful with how you do it. You're not just careless and reckless.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're showing a measure of temperance and
Right,
a
yeah,
measure of just self control. Like it's a lot of little things, Christian
yeah, man.
principles that play into it. Like because I'm sure
Yeah.
you tempted sometimes, and other people who invest tempt them sometimes to just boy, I'm going big, and they're doing
Oh
all kind
yeah,
of
man.
things, and they losing. And you see the TV shows and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
about people who be in there gambling. They be trying.
Oh yeah,
They
man.
might
Yeah,
get
yeah.
one thing one time, and then
Mm-hmm.
boy, after that they chase.
That's how
It's
they
like a
get.
high. Yeah, they chasing it.
Right,
But they done lost their wife, kids, everything.
right.
They having unalive thoughts in their head to themselves, and
Mm,
and they act on it a lot of times. But I
right.
think there's a lot of things based off the things you've been saying where you can see the Christian principles in it, as
Mm-hmm.
far as just being self controlled,
Right.
having the
Yeah,
right
man.
motives for doing it,
Right.
not loving the money,
Right.
but realizing that it is a tool
Right,
to,
man.
to help yourself and others too.
Right.
So
And that's a
I
good point, bro. It's
appreciate that.
another thing. It warns you about get rich quick scheme. This ain't a get rich quick
No, you
scheme.
got to have
'Cause you can
long
buy a little bit
thoughts.
in there, but it's some over time. You keep, you
Yeah,
learn about it. You keep going. So
yeah, you got to have long
you gotta
thoughts
be
with it.
careful with that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, all right, Stu. Appreciate it,
Mm.
man. So y'all got just like a little intro to, the Bitcoin, intro to the crypto world, a little bit about the history of it, where it came from, government in relation to it, some other things about it, and some of his other thoughts, and also, as we just noted here, man, the man is single. He's a Christian young man. I'm vouching for him. I'm riding for him. I'm stamping him. If it's any young ladies, oh, he 30, right?
Yeah, 30. I
Yeah,
be
he 30. That
31
boy
to me.
30.
I'm
Yeah.
old, man.
That boy 30, man, so if he ain't out there running around and doing all that there. So, send the email. We already sent the email up there, man, on the real. Hey, good young man right here. I'm very proud of this young man right here.
Appreciate it, bro. Likewise. Shout out, big bro, man.
So, all right, I got some rapid fire. We're gonna end with some rapid
Oh,
fire.
I
Well,
thought we
this
was
gonna be the
done.
last
Okay.
part, rapid fire.
Okay.
Then we gonna talk about a little bit about what's coming up later down the road. So,
Okay.
all right. So the first rapid fire question: favorite crypto beside Bitcoin?
Dog, I'm gonna have to tell you, I really don't have one.
Boy, that boy Bitcoin to
I ain't
the
gonna lie,
to
when
the
I first
end.
got into it, I did have a little Ethereum, some other stuff, but then when I learned more about Bitcoin, I sold all that and put it into Bitcoin. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, I don't really have no
All
other
right.
one.
Next, bull or bear right now?
The landscape right now is
Yeah.
it? Oh yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't looking too good right now, man. It's
So
that
bull.
thing, bear. It's a
Oh, so
bear.
bear.
It's
Okay.
probably bearish right now. Kind of dropped or whatnot. But I'm not mad because I get to get more units of it at a lower, because it's lower. So
Gotcha.
I'm not tripping. It's gonna go back up.
All right. One word to describe Bitcoin.
That's a good question. The first thing that popped in my mind is immutable, man. That thing
There
has
you go.
not changed. Thing did not change. Protocols. So.
All right. Biggest myth about crypto.
I would say the biggest myth, like some people say, this bad by nothing. Then you got actual people that's keeping up with the network, real people.
That's a good point.
Real people
I'm
that's
glad you
backing
brought
it
that
up.
out.
You
Yeah.
know, so I would say that's probably the biggest myth. I got a friend that I hoop with. He said, "Hey, man, it bad by nothing." He young too. He sound like a boomer, but
Hey.
yeah, he younger than me, man. He like 21.
Oh, that boy got that boomer mentality.
Shout out that boy Hassan, man. I'm gonna send this to Hassan.
What's up, Hassan, man? I hope you subscribe to the channel,
Yeah.
Hassan, boy. Boy, I come visit you, boy.
Uh-huh.
I'm like a ghost, boy. Boop, boop. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
good with that?
Yeah. I say
That
that's
I didn't know that part.
yeah, because you got real people
So
verifying
people just
this.
start saying things, then
Right,
people take it and think it's true.
Right.
And it don't be true. It don't be far from the truth.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I see. All right, cool. Appreciate that there, Stu. Hey,
Mhm.
but that boy talked more today than any other episodes, all of them combined. Boy, we done did this the 16th
Man.
episode. This man done talked more today than any episode combined, boy. But I learned some things here today. He been telling me, he been telling everybody in our family about it, and he got a little saying like, man, y'all need to listen to me. Y'all listen to me, man. Y'all can hear me out. Hear me out with it, yeah.
Man,
So that's
listen
how
to
he do,
Steve.
man. So I decided to say, you know what, let's hear you out today, man.
Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
I hope everybody
Appreciate-
look, man, lock in with him, man. He will spend time with you to talk about this stuff. I'm telling y'all, man.
Yeah.
So that's the two takeaways for y'all today. Hey, if you wanna know about the Bitcoin, man, and think about investing it, get at the email, man. Leave it in the comments. Say, hey, I want to talk to that boy. I'm gonna put you in contact with him. You have my word. And then secondly, the man is a single young Christian black man with his stuff together, man. Y'all go ahead. If you have any interested ladies out there, y'all already know. The requirements is you must be a true Christian. That's off tiggity. That's off top.
If you ain't got that, then we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you're a Duval girl.
Right, for
Right,
sure,
but
for sure.
if you're not, we ain't discriminating around here. So and then I think that's like the main two. Oh, now can we just go ahead and be real right now?
All right, go ahead.
You probably thinking the same thing.
I don't know though, but I don't
So
want to say it
number
and be
one, gotta
wrong.
be a Christian,
Right, for sure.
and then preferably, but they ain't
In the
not
city,
into-
in the city.
in the city.
But I mean,
And then I would go say, she gotta, she gotta have a work ethic as far as, making sure, she exercise and stuff like that, right?
yeah, for sure, man. Because that's important, man.
Yeah.
You want to have quality of life.
Yeah, for real,
So
man. Yeah, y'all see
yeah,
what we saying. So just hey, put that in the comment too. Like, hey man, I like that boy with the black shirt. We and then we'll see where we can go from there. So
right,
we
right.
gonna say that like that there. So hey man, appreciate you with dropping
Hmm.
that knowledge on us about Bitcoin. Now we got some good stuff coming up for
Good
y'all in the
stuff on the
future,
way,
man. I'm
man.
telling you, man, we've been chopping up, throwing stuff against the wall, seeing what we gonna talk about. Man, we gonna be talking about should abortion be criminalized, man. We're gonna be
That's gonna be a
talking
good one
about them
right there.
sororities and fraternities, man. How we feel about that. Hey,
All those
y'all
gonna
gonna feel a certain
yeah,
kind of way
all
on
that's what
that
I'm
one.
saying. All those can make somebody
Y'all
mad.
gonna feel a
And
certain kind of way on that one. So that's that. And then we're gonna talk about government assistance, man. Like how we feel about government assistance. Probably specifically about the Civil Rights Act and all that back in
hmm
the '60s with Lyndon Johnson, his war on poverty and all
oh yeah,
that. That's really when all that stuff started to come in.
right.
And then kind of bouncing off of that, we're gonna be talking about how important black fathers are to being fathers.
Hmm.
Something along those lines because we can be honest too. Like that. Dang, that sounds crazy. We can be honest too. That kind of sounds like at sometimes we're not honest.
Right. Now we
That ain't
all
what
yeah,
I
we
mean.
honest.
We are always honest, Lord willing,
Right.
but we recognize that a lot of things that you may see today when it comes to black communities
Hmm.
is not good, but we believe we know why that's the case. And it has to do with the
Right.
government. Okay, so we
Hmm.
gonna be talking about all that we kind of talked about it a little bit when we were talking about black culture and how we see it, because at that time it was a lot of
Right.
people saying a lot of stupid things
Hmm.
about black people. So
Right.
we ain't ducking nothing.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that's some of the things that we got coming up. If y'all got any suggestions, hit us in the email, man. Put it in the comments and we go talk about it. But we thank y'all for joining us on today's
Hmm.
episode. Man, it's been a real good one right here. You heard from the millennial, my brother Lil Stube, man. He dropped a lot of knowledge. He's very knowledgeable about that stuff. So if you got any kind of questions, again, leave them in the comments. Hit us with an email. And if you're a young lady and you're interested, we already told you like the third or fourth time. We love y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. Make sure to like and subscribe. We love y'all. Mwah. Love y'all for real, boy.
Peace.